Hi guys, this is Mr. Xiao, and I'm here to tell you about your textbook scavenger hunt. And let's go ahead and go to the assignment, and I'll show you actually how to navigate through that assignment. All right, so the World History, Culture, and Geography Modern World Textbook Scavenger Hunt. Whew, that's really long. So what you will need for our scavenger hunt is first the book, and it's right here, and that is the Impact World History, Culture, and Geography Modern World Textbook. I'm not going to say that again. So when we use that book, we're going to be looking through the beginning and the end, just so that we can look at the different features. So you'll be able to find different items very quickly. We're also going to need to use the internet. Besides using it to get into this assignment, we're going to need to access Clever and be able to get onto our online textbook as well. All right, so navigating through the text, you're going to be looking at different page numbers, and the beginning section of the book is arranged in Roman numerals. And Roman numerals look like letters. V actually stands for 5, so this actually stands for 5. And if you go there, you'll be able to find the table of contents. And from there, you'll be able to find all the other sections if you look closely and if you kind of scavenge around and look around and search. So one of the important things is to make sure you understand just a little bit of how the Roman numerals work, or at least look at the symbols and go to those sections in the beginning of the book. Okay, and this is before page 1. So in this first section, they're going to be asking you to look at the table of contents, of course, the index, which is at the end, and the glossary, which is also at the end. So if you could find those sections, you will be able to answer these questions easily. Next thing is to also look for sections in the table of contents about primary source, and then also find the maps and charts section, which is also in the same section as the table of contents. Okay, so make sure you look in the right area for those features. Next, you're going to be using those features in more in detail. So the index is going to ask you. So there's an index question, and the index is going to be at the end of the book on page 792. And one of the questions is, where in the textbook can we find World War I propaganda? And so you will probably search the word propaganda in the index. Um, Actually, you will look up World War One, and then after World War One, you'll probably be looking at propaganda. Once you find all that information, look at the page number that comes up after propaganda, and that should be the page number you'll be able to find that information. Okay, so use these different sections to help you answer the book. And so the questions here are all going to be asking you about different sections. So the glossary question is going to ask you to look up certain words and use them in a certain way, and also look at geography and also skill books, skill handbooks. And so there's different sections in the book that's going to teach you different skills. As long as you're able to find them, you'll be able to answer the questions quickly and efficiently. All right, next is our textbook skill builders, which is in the beginning of the book. So go to the beginning of the book, and you're going to look through different skills. And you're going to be looking for the skill analyzing primary sources, which is a little bit closer to the end of that skill builder section. You're also going to be using sequencing and using a timeline. You're probably going to pass this before you even get to the primary sources analysis. So make sure you keep your eye out for these two sections and try to complete them to the best of your ability. Here and here. This next section is actually assessing your skill in navigating through the textbook. And so each of these questions is going to ask you how to find information. And it's not going to give you the page numbers, but you yourself will have to figure out how to be looking those up. I suggest you probably use the index or the glossary to kind of help you with that. But I think it's probably easier to use the index or the table of contents. And if you feel like, oh yeah, I can do that, Mr. Shao, well, try to time yourself. And so if you could put a time here and how fast it took you to find the information and write it. Just find the information, and then after that you can write it down. But time yourself in how fast it took you to use the book and to get information about, let's say, Nelson Mandela. And so here you see actually our different scales. So if you do things in seconds, you're awesome. If you actually did it in a minute or less, that's still pretty good. If it takes like, a little bit longer, that's not too late. But 5 minutes or more, yeah, that becomes a little bit. But if it takes you hours, come on, really. So when you think about how you can finish all of these, try to time yourself. It's an optional thing, just for fun. But again, you should try to see if you could actually score the best time. And for my class, we'll probably be talking about that and kind of competing with each other to see who will get some participation points based on how fast or how like what time they use. All right, so the last part is going to be our connecting onto our online book. Okay, so here is our icon to get into the Clever page. So make sure you get into the correct Clever page for your teacher. There's a link here to get to that Clever site, and then you're probably going to need the join code. So for my classes, we've already actually put the syllabus, the join code in the syllabus. So if you go to your syllabus for your period, you will probably find the join code there. Most likely, uh, our, each of the teachers will probably post your join code the day that I'm probably on the stream, so you guys can access that and make sure that you have the correct join code when you kind of log in. Once you log into the online book, it's going to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, what are some of the features of the book? So you can describe the tabs, you can describe what you see on top, what you see, the different parts of the book is going to look like, okay, or parts of the website is going to look like. And then next, you're going to explore the dashboard and then go down to the bottom section and look for the ebooks that are also available to you there. And you're just going to jot those down. Finally, you're going to go to the assignment tab and describe the first assignment your teacher has assigned for you, whatever it may be. Okay, it'll probably be different for each class or different teachers, but make sure that you are able to navigate through those different parts. And that's it for our online scavenger hunt and also our textbook scavenger hunt. If you have any questions, feel free to email either myself or Ms. Orteg, depending on who's your teacher, and make sure that you look carefully and understand each question before you kind of jot down answers for this. All right, thank you guys for your time, and we will see you soon.